Welcome to the Borderline Man. This is a topic that is just not relevant for people with borderline, but for people that are hypersensitive or just creative in general, which is probably a big deal or a big number in the borderline group of people. I think it is common that people who are suffering from borderline personality disorder are also creative. And what I mean with this is that you usually channel emotions and expressions you have inside of yourself through art and artistic things, creativity. And when you have borderline, this becomes also connected to your emotional centers very strongly, of course. So I was reminded by this when I looked at a friend's Instagram, and she is an artistic person. She's drawn to all kinds of artistic things. Well, not my friend, but his girlfriend is. And I just looked around at her Instagram and I noticed there was art there was writing poem, and there were music there, and I reacted especially to music because frankly it sucked. There was nothing about it was good. It was poor artistic skills, poor musicianry. This was just bad in every sense of the way, bad. But of course I wouldn't comment this on her page because that would just be rude. It's basically rude of me just having an opinion. In my book it would be cruel for me to tell this, because here's the thing about artistry: we tend to connect it to skill and success. And just because you have the need to express yourself through artist related things, that's not the same as you being gifted. Not the same at all. And that's also not even really the point. I think we have a strong inclination to connect artistic needs to success, to perhaps being great at it, being an artist that can live from it even. And I'm pretty sure most people who are artistically inclined dream of a life where they could live on their artistic skills. Of course, that would be awesome. But that is a privilege that, well, it is a mystery in many ways. It is who becomes successful and who doesn't. It is connected to connections, trends, and all kinds of stuff. But in general, the point I'm trying to make is that just because you have an artistic inclination, it doesn't really mean that you are gifted. And that's a problem, especially if you are hypersensitive, because that means that when you expose your feelings through poetry, music, writing, painting, you expose a piece of your heart. And when you get negative criticism from it, that is difficult for everyone to shake off. But it's especially difficult for people who do these things from a just personal need of venting feelings, venting yourself to the world. And I'm pretty sure if you look at many of the great artists of history, human history, you're going to find that they are hypersensitive. And many of them are probably borderline. You're going to find a lot of bipolars there and mental illnesses in general. I think there's a strong connection there too to artistic traits. Because if you're feeling good and happy, you probably don't have that itch to express yourself, your pain, your inner deepest feelings through something artistic. I think there is a strong connection between, let's face it, feeling bad and being an artist. Not everyone, of course, and there's going to be a lot of people who do artistic things and don't give a crap about what critics say and so on. But I remember this famous Swedish, he was a bit of everything. He was called Hasse Andersson. He was a man who did a lot of things, but one thing he did was create movies. He was a director and a movie creator, and he usually received huge amount of praise for his movies. But then I don't remember his age, but it was probably around 65, 70 or something like that. He received, let's put it mildly, he received very unfavorable criticism for his movie. I think the movie's title was The Age of Wolves or something like that. I don't really know the English titles, don't quote me on it. But reviewers, especially one, said it was really boring and really not all that great. It was quite a cruel review, actually. I watched the movie later on, and I mean, it's not as good as his earlier works, but it is still a good movie. I think the reviewers were probably just disappointed, perhaps, that it wasn't as high standard as his previous movie, which is one of the great movies of Swedish cinema. So it obviously hurt this man greatly, because he said, and it became the truth. He said, "I'm not ever going to do a movie again." And that is horrific in my book. That is just horrible. He was so badly hurt by the reviews that he decided to never do a movie again. And holy shit, that left me with a feeling, a remarkable, strange feeling of, you should be always really careful of what you say to people, even if you think that their work sucks, unless it is your intention of basically hurting them, or you don't care about their feelings. Because obviously you can hurt a person really, really bad with your words, like this reviewer hurt Mr. Hasse Andersson. Yeah, I don't know if he had borderline. I don't think so. I don't know, but he was obviously very hypersensitive regarding criticism for his artistic performance. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have cared about the reviewers and just brushed it off. So hypersensitivity, borderline or not, is a thing connected obviously to great artists. So, what do you do if you know you're hypersensitive and you also are artistically inclined, or you have the itch to create things? I think you must be prepared that the world out there doesn't care about you. The world out there looks at art as something that they should appraise and that they should put a grade on. That's just how it works. And if you're not ready for that, well, then you should keep your art for yourself, because the option is commercial viability. That's just the way it is. And in that realm of commercialism and capitalism and everything, then you are going to be criticized. So, my point is, don't expose your artistic, creative things unless you are properly prepared to get stabbed straight into your heart, because reviewers and people in general don't care. They don't care one bit about your feelings. They couldn't give a crap if you are hurt for the rest of your life by a review, because people don't see art as the artists do, or at least as many artists do. They see art as something that they are meant to criticize and have an opinion about. And that's just how everyone works. That's just how I works, as I just pointed out when I watched my friend's girlfriend's crappy music. And I think it sucked. And that's just my honest opinion. Probably going to be most people's opinion, because, well, she's not successful in her artistic endeavors, let's put it that way, and she's been at it for 10 or 15 years with no success. So good on her for not giving up. You should never give up, but she will never succeed, in my opinion, because there's nothing there. There is nothing there that is unique. There is nothing there that is odd. There is nothing there that is gifted. There's nothing there. It's just her need, her itch to express herself, and that is the thing she should focus on. And I hope she does. I hope she doesn't have the need to become successful, because that won't happen. And maybe it's good for her to be this tiny, anonymous creator of artistic things, because as long as you are in that bubble, you're safe. Your exposed heart, your fragile heart, which the artistic heart is, the poetic heart is. Everyone has heard about the poetic soul. I for sure have one. I hate getting criticized with things that I have done artistically. It's really, really painful. The interesting thing is, I actually struggle with praise as well. I find it very hard to receive a compliment or anything, actually. I don't know what I'm expected to do with a compliment. It feels good, but I also feel uncomfortable. Everything related to this exposure of your artistic self is uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. And yeah, maybe there is where you belong, if you are, like myself, mediocre creativity person, a person that have the itch, but doesn't necessarily have that unique special gift for anything. Maybe I should just be happy that I have this, if I do have this small crowd of people that are supportive, because that is great. That is what the heart needs, maybe. But that's the problem. That's the problem. And I'm going to be the first to admit it, that I wonder if there really are any artists out there, besides a really small number, that are happy with this, that are content with not reaching out to the big masses. I think that is very unusual. I think most people have this dream of becoming successful with their artistic side. And it's going to be, for 99% of us, never the case. We are forever going to be just another speck in the wind of dust that never succeeds with it commercially, regardless of what we do. And the cruel thing is that even the ones who are really talented are victims of these, because success is not just about how skilled you are. Sadly, that's not the case. Success can also very often simply be who do you know, what's your name, where were you born, what's your nationality, how do you look, and so on. Success can be connected to all those things, and money, of course. Money is a really big factor. If you're rich, success can be bought. Let's just face it. That's the way it works in this world. And yeah, many great artists will succeed because they are very good, and that will be enough to become successful. But there is going to be tons of really awesome artists out there that will never succeed, despite getting all the appraisal and all the critics on their side and so on, because artistic success is a bitch. Let's just face it, it is. And hidden behind all of these skilled artistic people are an army of lesser skilled or unskilled artistic people that will never succeed. Never in a million years. And many of them are going to be borderline people or other people with hypersensitivity that are going to be very sensitive to criticism and failure. The curse of the artistic heart, the borderline itch and need to be creative, is real. It is nasty and it is real. And there is no easy way out of it, and there is no easy answer. Yeah, that's what I had to say about this. And I have no solution to it, actually, really. Stay away from art kids. It's bad for you. No, it's not, but you know what I mean. This is the Borderline Man signing off.